right, begin.
What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. I hope each and every one of you are doing well this morning and that you woke up happy and healthy. That's the most important thing. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you guys a favor. If you don't mind, go ahead and punch that like button and also smash that share button so we can get this channel recognized, you dig? And also, if you're on Instagram, you can give me a follow at NCTuckTV. That's a for sure way that we can stay connected, all right? Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get down to business. And guys, this is going to be a short and brief video. I just wanted to come on here and just talk about this really quick. So back in 2018, Monique was at the height of her process of boycotting Netflix. And I got to keep it real, our people that have the same hue as I do, we weren't supportive as we should be. Now, I was supportive because, you know, I wanted to stand with my sister in solidarity, but a lot of people were like, oh, she's crying about 500,000. You know, how can you cry about that amount of money? You know, everyday workers don't even see that type of money. You know, she's being a brat. She's being this, that, and the third. And a lot of you all, you know, didn't understand that she was trying to, you know, advocate for the betterment of our community and the betterment of how black women are treated in Hollywood. So it just went over your head. Now, Monique felt that Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle and Amy Schumer were worth what they were getting paid from Netflix, but she felt with her resume that she should have gotten paid more than $500,000, and I totally agree. Now, if you guys can remember, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million from Netflix to do a comedy special. So Amy sat back and thought about that thing and said, hey, I deserve more. So she went back to Netflix and told Netflix, say, hey, I don't deserve to get paid like Chris Rock or a Dave Chappelle, but I think that I deserve a little bit more. Netflix said, fine. They gave her $2 million more. And so she ended up getting paid $13 million for her Netflix special. Now, when Monique came back to Netflix and said, hey, I think I deserve more than $500,000, right? She was like, check my resume. I have an Oscar. You know, I believe in myself. I believe that I can fill those seats. Basically, Netflix told her to either take it or leave it. Now, let's also remember that comedian Wanda Sykes came out in agreement with Monique and said that she went through the same thing, but Netflix only offered her $250,000. Now, let me say this. I'm going to keep it all the way real, right? All the way real. The reason why Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, and Chris Rock were initially offered more than a Monique and a Wanda Sykes is because Wanda, and in particular Monique, right, their audience are mostly people that have the same hue as me. So when you take a look at Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, and Chris Rock, they can fill those seats with people from all different races. Let's keep it all the way 100. So honestly, Netflix didn't believe that the investment in Wanda Sykes and Monique would actually pay off because they see that people with the same hue as me probably wouldn't have supported Monique and Wanda Sykes to the highest magnitude. And that's embarrassing that they can even see that there's a dysfunction when it comes to our people actually supporting one another. So even though I felt that Monique should have been offered more, and I feel that Wanda Sykes should have been offered more, you can't blame Netflix because they're like, yo, how are we going to profit off of this? They can't fill up those seats like Dave Chappelle and Amy Schumer and Chris Rock due to the fact that they can bring in people from all different cultures. So it makes sense. But again, it's so sad. It's so sad that, you know, we're built like this and we're conditioned like this as a culture that we don't get behind our people like we should. But anyway, let's fast forward to when Whoopi Goldberg and Monique had their issue on The View when Whoopi was trying to so-called school Monique about how she should have carried herself when there was that whole rift between Lee Daniels and Monique and Oprah and Tyler Perry. When Monique did the movie Precious, she only got paid $50,000, right? And they asked Monique to go overseas to promote the film. Monique said that she has done everything and followed all the guidelines within her contractual agreement and that she was going to spend time with family. And so Whoopi was like, you shouldn't have went about it that way. You should have went and promoted the movie. It's your obligation.
And this is what happens, in my humble opinion, when you don't go up to the hotel room. See, when I think about those women that said...
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Because contractually...
Yes.
when you make a movie, regardless of who you sign the deal with,
Yes.
your job is to go and promote said movie.
Yes.
No, but so when they wanted you to come, and we've had this
Yes, we did.
conversation, and I said if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was expected.
All right, so you guys just saw the clash between Whoopi and Monique back in 2018 that took place on The View. And so basically it seems like Whoopi wasn't trying to hear anything that Monique was telling her. Monique clearly stated that it wasn't in her contract to actually promote the movie Precious overseas. And so Whoopi comes back and says, I don't care who you sign with, right? Contractually, you're obligated to promote the film. She just told you that it wasn't in her contract. It wasn't an obligation of hers contractually. So how can she be contractually held responsible for something that wasn't in her contract? And so when we look at Whoopi now, it's like, maybe you should have been taking Monique's advice. Maybe she should have put you up on game, and she was trying to put you up on game. She tried to put Steve Harvey up on game. Look at him. He doesn't even have his show anymore. When you look at Whoopi and Steve Harvey, they both try to make Monique look stupid on live television. And so look at, Whoopi. She's suspended for 2 weeks now. She thought that she could go onto The View and say whatever she wanted. And just because she picked a Jewish last name, Goldberg, right? Because we know that Whoopi's real name is Karen Johnson, right? The powers that be quickly reminded her, whether you feel that she was right or wrong, that, hey, you're crossing the line. You crossed the line, right? There's some boundaries set. Remember who you are. When you look in the mirror and you see the hue that you are, stay in your place. And look at her now. So it seems like Monique was trying to school you. It seems like Monique was trying to school Steve Harvey, And even though both of them are probably, for sure, in a better spot financially than Monique, it just goes to show that people tried to make Monique look crazy, and Monique is not the crazy one. Monique is the strongest one out of all of them. And I applaud Monique for standing strong in her position. No matter what you think about her, no matter what you think about her husband and things like that, I applaud Monique for standing 10 toes down in what she believed in. And it's just a shame, I'm going to say it again, that she didn't have the full support of our community like she should. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. And, guess what? It's very discouraging when you look at, the dynamics. I mean, it's like being a person that has the same hue as me. Who can you trust, right? Who can you trust? If you can't trust your own people to back you and to support you, even if they feel that you're wrong, because that's what other cultures do. They stand behind their people no matter what. Now, I'm not saying that you should support, your people in their wrong, especially when it comes to crime. I'm talking about crime, a severe crime. But when it comes to inequality in this country, our support for our people should come without question. But anyway, I'm going to let this go and let y'all have that in the comments. Drop down and let me know what you think about this whole entire video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll get with you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.